Welcome to our video series on TOBY Playpad. TOBY Playpad stands for Therapy Outcomes by You. We have a website, www.tobyplaypad.com. We also have a Facebook page and a Twitter account where we constantly update new information and answer queries from families regarding TOBY. We're also available for therapists if they've got any questions about TOBY. Now, our video series today looks at the components of TOBY, so what's included. We've had lots of questions now that TOBY is available from the iTunes store, so we wanted to show you exactly what was included in TOBY and the depth and scope of the program. It is quite in-depth. There are up to 50 skills that TOBY aims to teach children, so rather than being separated into smaller apps, it's bundled together into one app, and so what we'll aim to do is show you all those components. So TOBY started out, it was inspired by a young child diagnosed with autism, and there were a group of computer scientists that wanted to help children learn, particularly children with autism spectrum disorders, because they have such a unique learning profile, by using educational software. And so they began a project in developing this software to help teach children as effectively as we can. It started out as an Australian Research Council grant of $520,000, and that needed to be matched by a community organisation, and that organisation is Autism West. Now, Autism West is a parent-run group and it receives no government funding whatsoever, so any funds that it uses to help support TOBY and also to run its programs out of the centre, it's all the funding comes through fundraising. So with this money, we were able to get together a team of dedicated computer scientists, a clinical psychologist, a speech pathologist and a consultant occupational therapist, and we started to develop the software. Now, we had nearly 100 families join us and trial our software along the way, and following feedback from families and the actual implementation and use of TOBY, we have what is now TOBY Playpad. So TOBY's aims are to empower parents first of all. The aim is to teach the teacher how to teach, and this can be parents new to the area of autism spectrum disorder, so if their child has just been recently diagnosed, but it's also been found to be very, very helpful for those families that have been in intervention for a little while, and also other adults working with children on the spectrum. It just helps to fine-tune the ways in which we work with these children so that we can help them learn, and it's all about gaining a better understanding of the teaching process. TOBY aims to empower parents and adults by providing easy access to information about teaching and learning, giving suggestions for where to start following a diagnosis, and TOBY was essentially an early intervention waitlist strategy. So once a child had been diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder and were in the early intervention years, and so a lot of questions at that time come from parents about what do I need to do and how do I do it. And so TOBY aims to answer those questions for families and get them started. So TOBY provides some really simple activities to do across the day, as well as some on iPad activities as well to complement those other activities that families do. The parents report back to TOBY, and then TOBY makes suggestions for what to work on next. Now, the computer software components behind the workings of TOBY are very, very complex. There's complex computer algorithms and rules that TOBY follows, so that if a child is having difficulty, it knows what skill or skills to go back to in our curriculum tree, so that earlier prerequisite skills can be consolidated so that future learning can then occur. The child's progress is salient and easy to monitor. All of your child's results are available in easy to read visual tables and diagrams, so that you and your therapist or you and other adults working with your child can problem solve if there are any difficulties that come up along the way. So this is just a visual diagram to show the concept of TOBY. So we believe that every child is unique, and TOBY teaches the child the foundation skills for learning so that they can be efficient learners. And by that we mean that they can learn from the natural cues in their natural world, in their natural social world. So that's our underlying philosophy and how we implement some of the goals and activities in TOBY. We also believe that every family is unique. So TOBY coaches the adult about how to use cues, reinforcement, prompting and motivation for learning, and how to balance these within the child's intervention program so that you can be adding learning opportunities to every moment of your child's day, so that therapy is not sitting down at a table for 5 hours a day, it's actually interspersed through those natural teaching opportunities, and how to turn those natural opportunities into teaching moments for your child. So what does TOBY teach exactly? One component of TOBY is that it teaches the child. It teaches the child foundation skills for learning, including attention to visual and auditory information, how to imitate others, so that very early skill of learning how to copy others for the purpose of learning, early vocabulary skills, so understanding a word relates to an object or a person, and then how to use that spoken word to communicate with another person, and then how to understand the non-verbal communication tools such as eye gaze, facial expressions and gestures. How does a child pay attention to those cues in their natural world? How do they understand them? And then how do they go and use them? So TOBY aims to teach the child all of these skills. All of the skills are coordinated into a complex curriculum tree, and this is a very simple diagram here of the tree just to symbolise how all the branches together form the tree, and it's that foundation, it's the trunk and the roots of the tree that we're really ensuring a strong and a good solid base for our kids. And these early foundation skills are in the areas, as mentioned before, joint attention, discrimination skills, naming words or understanding nouns, and copying others. Our ultimate aim is to help children learn from their social environment, how to find enjoyment out of engaging socially with other people and learning from those social engagements with others. And this is how TOBY, all the activities link together and all the skill networks link together in TOBY. So now we'll show you some more videos to show you the components of TOBY, including the adult component of TOBY, and then looking into each of these foundation skill areas in a little bit more detail for you.